You can have a phone full of entertainment, a house full of things, a calendar full of plans, and still sit there thinking, why does none of this feel good anymore? That question is becoming more common because a lot of people are not necessarily bored, lazy, or ungrateful or broken. Their brains are overloaded, overstimulated, and emotionally exhausted and stuck in routines that make pleasure hard to even notice. Enjoyment is not just about having something fun in front of you. It depends on the attention, the energy, anticipation, emotional safety, and the ability to present long enough to actually feel something. And when those systems get worn down, even things you used to love can start feeling flat. One major reason is constant stimulation. Your brain is surrounded by short videos, notifications, games, news, music, messages, shopping, and endless scrolling. And every few seconds, something new appears, and that train your attention quick rewards that and constant change. And normal activities cannot compete with that speed. Reading a book, cooking dinner, taking a walk, or talking to someone, or watching one full movie may actually painfully slow because your brain has gotten so used to switching constantly. The activity is not necessarily boring. Your reward system has simply been trained to demand more novelty with less effort. And this is why people can scroll for 2 hours without enjoying it. They then feel too restless to do anything meaningful afterwards. They're consuming stimulation, but they're not receiving real satisfaction. Another reason nothing feels enjoyable is chronic stress. When your brain believes you are under pressure, it focuses on survival, the problems, the deadlines, the money, the conflict, the uncertainty, and whatever could go wrong next. And enjoyment requires mental space. But stress keeps filling that space with alarms. Even during a relaxing moment, part of your mind may still be reviewing bills, replaying conversations, worrying about work, or preparing for the tomorrow. And your body may be sitting on the couch, but your nervous system is still at work. And that makes fun feel like an interruption instead of an experience. And you may even feel guilty for relaxing because your mind says there's always something more productive you should be doing. But over time, that this creates a life where rest does not feel restful and entertainment does not feel entertainment or entertaining at all. Emotional exhaustion can also flatten everything. When you spend too much time solving problems, supporting others, and hiding your feelings, dealing with conflict, or pushing through responsibilities, your emotional energy gets drained. You may still functional, you may still feel that functionality, but you may still go to work, answer messages, handle chores, and smile when necessary, but functioning is not the same as feeling alive. Emotional burnout often looks less dramatic than people expect, and it can show up as indifference, irritability, numbness, or even low motivation, or feeling that everything is just another task. Even hobbies become obligations. You do not think I get to do this. You think, I guess I should do this because it used to make me happy. And that pressure makes enjoyment even harder. Another major issue is that many people are waiting to feel motivated before they do anything, and they assume enjoyment should appear first when actions will follow. And in reality, action often has to happen before enjoyment returns. You may not feel like going outside, calling a friend, or cleaning your space, or exercising, or working on a hobby, but after doing it for 10 to 20 minutes, your mood may begin to shift, and the brain sometimes needs that movement, the novelty, the connection, and completion before it releases the feeling you were waiting for. And this is especially important because isolation makes that numbness worse. And when people withdraw because nothing feels fun, they lose the experience that could help bring feeling back. And comparison can also destroy your enjoyment. Social media makes ordinary life look unacceptable. You're not just eating dinner, you're comparing it to someone else's luxury restaurant. You're not just taking a weekend off, you're comparing it to someone's vacation. You are not just improving slowly, you're comparing yourself to someone's highlight reel. And this turns real life into a disappointing background scene. So instead of noticing what is good, the brain notices what is missing. Gratitude becomes difficult when comparison constantly moves the finish line. The moment you achieve something, another person appears to have more. And that creates a strange emotional trap where progress never feels like progress and pressure never feels like impressive enough. And the lack of purpose can make things feel empty too. Entertainment can distract you, but it cannot always fulfill you. People need common sense of movement and contribution, curiosity, responsibility, or growth. And without that, fun can start feeling like a temporary pause from meaninglessness. And this does not mean you need to giant life mission. Purpose can be raising a family, learning a skill, helping someone, improving your health, building something, creating art, or caring for an animal, or becoming more dependable. Enjoyment becomes stronger when it is connected to a life that feels like it's going somewhere. Sleep, nutrition, movement, and physical health matter as well. A tired brain does not process pleasure normally. Poor sleep can increase the irritability, reduce your focus, and make everything feel harder. So sitting all day can leave your body restless and while your mind feels exhausted. Skipping meals or eating inconsistently can affect energy, mood, and certain medications and substance use, hormonal changes, and medical conditions can also reduce interest and pleasure. And if the loss of enjoyment is persistent, severe, or connected to hopelessness, major sleep changes, the appetite changes, or thought of self harm, it should be taken seriously and discussed with a qualified medical or mental health professional. Sometimes nothing feels enjoyable. It's not just a lifestyle problem, it can be a symptom of depression or another condition that deserves real support. And the solution is usually not to force yourself to feel happy, okay? That creates pressure and makes every activity feel like a test. So instead, reduce the noise and rebuild the ability to notice small rewards. Put the phone away for part of the day. Do one activity without switching screens. Take a walk without turning it into a fitness challenge and listen to an entire album. Cook something slowly. Visit a place you have not been. Finish one small task and let yourself feel the completion. Spend time with someone who does not drain you. Create something badly instead of consuming something perfectly, and allow boredom to exist without immediately escaping it. Boredom is not always the enemy. It can be the reset that makes ordinary pleasure noticeable again. You also need to stop expecting every moment to be amazing. Enjoyment is often quiet. It can be relief, curiosity, comfort, laughter, interest, peace, connection, or the satisfaction of doing something useful. It only counts intense excitement as enjoyment. You will miss most of what makes life feel good. And the goal is not to chase bigger stimulation. The goal is to become sensitive to real life again. Nothing may feel enjoyable right now because your mind has been pushed too hard, distraction too often, or disconnected for too long. And this does not mean the feeling is gone forever. It may mean your brain needs less pressure and less comparison and more rest, more movement, more purpose, and enough quiet to remember what enjoyment actually feels like. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found value in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. We're looking to build this channel, and without you, we can do that. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.